Shipmates, Ghosties, this is Seaman Cummins, and the director recording right now is Seaman Quintero, and today we are going to show you, one, how to iron your ODU blouse, and how to iron your drops. I'm going to start with the ODU blouse right here. Make sure you have your iron. We recommend putting a towel down just because, if you have a bad iron, it doesn't matter. Maybe you bought one that's not too good. Maybe you're using one at the barracks or one at the station that's not working too well. Recommend putting a towel down just so you're not getting those you want to just call them waffle creases, stains, all that stuff, because it kind of looks like a waffle almost. I do these in sections, so I'm going to start with section 1, which would just be 1/2. It doesn't matter which section you start with. You can start with the back section, you can start with this section, it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to go by sections of 3, and then we'll do the sleeves and the collar. So I'm going to start with this as my first section to have no creases in it. I'm going to go ahead and unfold my collar right there. So once we get this situated, and I know it's going to stay like that, does not look too bad right there. I'm going to scoot it just a little bit. So right there, I recommend this is what section 1 should look like. Even if you want to switch it up, it might be easier to do it like this, just so you can have that part right on the lip right there. This is probably one of the best ways to get that situated out. Once you have this here, obviously you want to make sure your iron's hot and ready to go. You should never really do this without water. Make sure there's water in there. Like if I just start going to town on this thing like that, it's gonna work, it's just not gonna look as good. You kind of want to take your time. Do it little by little. Make sure you're shaking the iron back and forth just like this. Make sure you get in between those buttons too. Another reason you want to do this in sections, if you try to do this as a whole and your blouse is still buttoned up or your traps are still buttoned up, you're going to get really bad stains and you're going to see your buttons through your shirt when it's all buttoned up. So make sure it's not buttoned up, and also don't wash these buttoned up because you're going to get those button stains. And just like that, this section is almost done. The one thing that I should have mentioned on the first part is we recommend putting a piece of cardboard, something like this size, in the pocket to iron this part. Like I said, make sure to get between those buttons, but this is what section 1 should look like. We do apologize, we're going to be cutting between ironing sessions. We're going to switch over to our next section, and I personally like to do the back. I'm going to switch this over here. It's a lot easier, like I said, if you use this narrow part right here. Make sure we keep that towel down, and we're going to put this just like this. So make sure you have the front part, the top part of the blouse, just like that, and we're going to start working on the back. So make sure that's all flat out. As you can see, we have wrinkles through here. Make sure we just get this as good as possible before we start, all tight, and then we are ready to go. This one is the same thing to it. We are just going to start ironing all these creases out, side to side. You kind of want to squeeze these wrinkles out in a way. So by doing this, you're starting to get those wrinkles out, and we're going to have that finished product in just a second. Alright, and just like that, we're finishing up our inspection ready blouse. Quick. This is relatively what the back should look like. All crisp, no wrinkles. That right there is a good part. We're going to go ahead and switch over to one of our last sections. After that, we just have the sleeves and the collar. So you can see, this is the reason you need to do a good job ironing, because someone, such as the person that could be wearing this blouse, might have these buttons right here. So we have to make sure that we're taking this blouse off every single time, unbuttoning it before we iron, unbuttoning it before we wash, dry clean, whatever. Just like the first section, and then I like to use the steam right here. Start getting that going, and then we're going to get started. Sometimes it's okay to just let it sit for just a couple seconds. You obviously don't want to leave it here and just walk away, but it's okay to press down for a couple seconds just to get some of these wrinkles out. So like as you can see, some of these button stains right here, you kind of want to leave it there for just a second, and then the button stains, marks, wrinkles are starting to go away already. We're gonna go ahead and put some cardboard in here, iron that out, and then we'll be right back in just 1 second with what it's gonna look like. And just like that, this one is getting finished up. As you can see, a lot of these stains, the button creases and everything are gone. So relatively, this is what your blouse should look like when it's done. All we have left is we gotta work on the sleeves right here, because as you can see, these aren't looking too hot right now. And then this collar, and we're gonna show you how to press that collar down so it looks good. So let's just go ahead and switch over to that real quick. I like to use this side now just because, you know, we need some more room to work with. We're just doing the collar. So that collar down right there, you can either do it that way, like up in here, or you can just use this width right here like this. Set her down like that, and then start ironing this collar out. So you want to be sure that when you're ironing this collar, you're doing your best not to go too low and like screw all this up. So we're just gonna stay right through there. Get this ironed out looking good. Like I said, I'm gonna do my best just to stay right on this side. Try not to get too close to it. Like I said, you can use the tip right here to get as close as possible. You're just gonna wanna iron this out the best you can. Alright, this, however, I will say personally, is the only spot that I say that you could go like this to. Just to really get that out. Just kind of press and go along. And what that collar looked like before I ironed it to now, it's looking a lot better. Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead, flip to this side and do the same thing real quick, and then we should be good. Alright, we're all done with this collar. Look at that, all flat, no wrinkles on that side, none on this side right there. So let's get these sleeves done real quick. In my opinion, the sleeves are the easiest part. Just gonna lay these out and then start going on the sleeves. This right here is how we laid it out. Just a different method I tried. There's really nothing to it. We just kind of laid it out flat and make sure we're going along this seam right here. So we're just only doing this top half, and then just line that seam up, and then it should lay down perfectly. Be careful about these buttons. Just kind of get going through here. As you can see, just after a couple swipes, they're already starting to go away. There's almost no wrinkles already, and I just started getting going. The sleeves are probably my favorite part because they're super simple, and just in a few seconds, there's almost no wrinkles in here. So just like that, we've pretty much got all these wrinkles out of the way. Then once we do that, we're gonna do the same thing and just flip to the other side right now. Back on the front side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna line up these seams right here, and then we're gonna start going. Same thing as last time. We want that little side to side motion up and down. Don't go over the buttons. And then just after a few seconds already, just like the first time, these wrinkles are gonna start coming out. You have that uniform inspection coming up for your unit. You wanna look like the best one there. That's how you can start. Right there, having the best looking uniform. Alright, and then just 1 second. This is looking good. Right now, Seaman Quintero is going to help us out right here and show us the best way to get this fold for the collar. He's going to start just by spraying that collar down a little bit. And then press. You see how we still got that side to side motion like we were just talking about for the other parts? Side to side. This is also one of those things where if you want to just go back and forth, don't do it a bunch, but especially for this section right here, it's okay. And in just 1 quick second, he's going to have that perfect fold and perfect crease for that collar, just like that. So we're going to do the same thing for the other side, but it's going to be a little bit different because obviously you see we have the buttons right here, and Seaman Quintero is going to show us how to avoid that the best we can, but still get this corner looking very, very good. He's going to start by spraying it down, same as last time. Like I said, it's almost the same process. It's quite easy. He's going to go in between the buttons, just like that. As you can see, you can kind of see that outline of the button right there. Just 1 second. That outline of the button right there, you just want to avoid that. Same process as last time. Just getting that good motion in there. And in just a quick second, just like the sleeves, it doesn't take too much time. He's got that perfect fold down right there. And just like that, we are done. So the only thing I will say about this is I know we said to use the towel so you don't have those marks right there. You are going to have a little bit of lint, but it's nothing that the lint roller won't take out, and it comes off pretty easy. So just make sure after you're done ironing this way, if you choose to use that towel, it'll come right off with everything, and then you have your inspection ready. So this is obviously what we came with right here. Look how wrinkled this thing is everywhere, all over, and we are walking out of here with a perfectly done blouse. No wrinkles, the collars are going to sit down. Just make sure that we use that lint roll, and then we're good to go.